This is episode 1. Welcome to our Q&A. I used to call these Cardio Convos in the past. The idea behind that was like when you're doing cardio, you want to pass time, gain a little value, get a couple laughs. This is what the Cardio Convos and Q&A is all about. So every week or so, I'm not going to put like a time pressure on for myself, but every week or so, I'm going to put a Q&A, and I try to answer most of them in writing on Instagram. But now the main purpose is going to be, if you ask a question, we're going to try to use it for the podcast. So those Q&As that I post with the question box, that is for our Cardio Convos. Now, whether we're going to keep that name or not, that's still to be determined. We got the captain of the ship here, Peter. He's our main media guy. Say what's up, Peter.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to our first podcast.
Yep. And then Javi.
What's going on, guys?
He's our intern. He's learning under Peter's wings.
Yes, sir. Learning from the best in the business from these two.
So this episode here, I made a post about kind of where I want to take this podcast in its direction. I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to podcasting. It might look like it with the mic and everything, but I just want to be able to provide value, a couple laughs, make people feel good, motivated, inspired to do whatever it is they want to do. The nucleus of this podcast is going to be obviously fitness related, but it could branch out to business, just learning about people. I have a curious mind, and I want you guys to be a fly on the wall to kind of listen to that. So this first podcast, I'm just pulling questions off of my Instagram, and we're going to answer them truthfully. And following podcast after that, I think I do want to keep some type of Q&A, which I used to call Cardio Convos in the past. But going forward, I want to learn about people. So I'm going to be hosting interviews and like our coaches, friends, family members, business owners. A lot of the businesses we work with, like say Dylan with Optimal Performance or Relive, Health Pack Meals, Benefits Body Shop, gym owners, like learning about their stories, especially in the community of the DMV in Montgomery County. So we'll see where this goes, but this is episode 1, and I'm really excited about this project. I'm not taking it too seriously, but if you're listening to this, thank you already. Hope you can make it through, and let's get rocking with that question number 1.
All right. So the first question is: should someone new to fitness find a coach first, and when's the right time?
It really depends, because it depends on a couple aspects of someone's life. And the financial constraint is probably the biggest limiting factor when it comes to finding a coach. So if you're a 17-year-old with a massive desire to learn about competing and bodybuilding, I'm answering this through the lens of physique sports. I would suggest finding a friend with similar interests and similar drive, similar schedule, and similar abilities. So if you have a massive athletic ability and your friend doesn't, and he had ACL surgery, probably not going to be the best training partner. I think a coach can be valuable, of course, or else I'd be speaking down on what I do. But I'm just being honest. Like, the best thing to do is have fun first with your person or a group of people, and just don't miss a day and just have fun with it. If you're trending in the right direction that you want to go, don't overthink that. Just eat and train, go to sleep. That's it.
I think realistically, I think, for those who want to start, some people don't have the budget to, hire a coach or a nutritionist. So the best thing to do is, like, you have friends who are already in the fitness industry or working out. You can always, work out with them and learn their ways and how they do things and what worked and what didn't work for them.
Make mistakes with your friends. It doesn't need to be this like perfect training and perfect nutrition all the time. Like it's okay to have like ugly reps at a young age. It's okay. Now, if you're well off in your 40s, you have a family, you have kids, you don't really you're hiring a coach to fast track your learning. So your cost is money instead of 5 to 10 years of trial and error. So you're saving yourself trial and error when it comes to hiring a coach. So the real answer is it just depends on your situation, your life's goals, your life situation, how much time you have. But yeah, I think that's a pretty clear answer.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I hope that helps.
All right. So the second question, tips on staying motivated to hit the gym.
Nah, you're not. It's delusional to think. It's delusional to think that you'll always be motivated to hit the gym. And I remember answering this question. If your success or your compliance to your plan is contingent on needing to be motivated, you're living in Wonderland. It's similar to wanting to take a shower when it rains. We have no control over when it rains. It's unpredictable. So you're now only going to be able to take showers when it rains. It's just, there's no continuity to it. Now, the cliche saying is, it's not motivation, it's discipline. You see people posting that all the time.
Yeah, I think it's more so discipline than motivation. Because if you're thinking about the gym and have a goal in mind to lose weight or put on muscle, then I think you're already motivated to do that. But I think it's more so being disciplined. I get like being motivated in certain times, like being seasonal. They're like such as winter. A lot of people have seasonal depression, and motivation is lacking usually around that time.
Massive topic. So the issue with that question, read that question one more time.
So tips on staying motivated to hit the gym.
The word that's an issue is staying. You can't stay motivated. You can increase your motivation, but you can't stay motivated. When motivation strikes, you need to ride that wave. You need to use it as a nice to have. Motivation is a nice to have. But the moment it becomes your program or your compliance becomes dependent on that, you're going to be starting a new fitness program every 4 months or whatever your frequency of quitting is. So I would really start treating your workouts as if your boss scheduled it for you, because for some reason, when we schedule something for ourselves, we have the highest rate of cancellation. But if your boss told you to be someplace at some time, you're going to be there because it affects your paycheck. So same concept. You need to start taking yourself more seriously, your calendar more seriously. Don't overbook yourself because you don't want to get into the habit of canceling on your own work. Next question.
All right. So number 3, not a question, but you are blessed to have Lazar as your favorite workout partner? ?
He's so smart.
Lazar.
Not a question and throws a question mark at the end.
It's such a Lazar thing to do.
Yeah, that man is hilarious. Shout out to Lazar. We actually just trained shoulders last week. We had a good workout.
All right. So number 4, what have you learned from being a girl dad and from being a boy dad?
A lot. Completely changed my life. Just being a dad in general completely changed my life for the better. I was a girl dad first. And then when Enzo came around, I realized just from an innate standpoint how different I parent them in certain situations. So when it comes to like morals and just kind of how I grew up, morals and respect and like all that kind of stuff is the same for both kids. It's the same. But when you're trying to raise kids, you want to raise good adults. You don't want to just raise good kids. So the type of kids that I have in mind raising, like I have a plan for my kids, obviously. I want them to be, at the end of the day, happy. But the type of life I want for them, I'm hoping that they would want to. And if they don't, that's okay as well. But where the path that I'm putting them on is to be high valued woman and a high valued man. And from a father, there's little branches off of those morals that I'm instilling in my children that differ. So right now, the boy and girl parenting is very similar because they're 1 and 3, so there's not a lot of variation that is being done. But as they age, as they hit puberty and things like that, it's kind of hard to speak on now because I don't necessarily know what I'm going to do because it's so situational based on what their interests are in that time, at that time. But
it's drastically changed. It's just more like you're teaching the core values, so when they grow up, they know they have a
Right now, it's definitely core values. Yeah. I'm trying to think of an instance where I am different with them now. And I'd probably say, I don't know, but the thing is, I'm pretty tough with Ava, like with falls and things like that. But I'm tough with Enzo too. Like Ava and I have a handshake when I drop her off at school. When she says bye to me, she gives me a handshake to spin. When I pick her up, a little handshake. It's just like a thing. And then Enzo, I'm teaching him how to dap up. So like, I guess I'm treating Enzo like a bro in certain circumstances.
Yeah, that's completely normal. I mean, like,
but I'm rough with both of them. I'm not more rough with Enzo than I am with Ava. But I don't know. It just feels a little different. This is honestly a tough question for me because parenting, these kids wake up different every single day. So I'm just kind of learning as we go. But I do know that in the future, like when I had dogs, well, I still have Lola, but when Amino, who is our boy dog, so we had a younger boy and an older girl dog, and she's still alive. Their temperaments were different, and I did treat them a little different. I was more rough, a little more physical with Amino than I was with Lola. But my question was that because he was 94 pounds instead of 60 pounds? So these are things that I'm not sure how it's going to grow when they're older. It's a tough question, and every parent struggles with that, especially in today's climate. We don't want to. Yeah, let's not even go there.
All right. So question number 5: how do you feel about supplement culture? I feel like supplements are everywhere.
Yeah, it's supplement culture. The culture of the supplement industry is cooler now than it's ever been. I mean, if you look at like these, like what was the thing that they just had in Houston with Gymshark, even though they're an apparel company, but like Raw Nutrition was there, and all supplement culture is at its peak from a cultural thing thing that's like branching out into other avenues of fitness. For example, Raw Nutrition, who we're with, is now in endurance. They're in bodybuilding. They're in, they're growing, but they're also a new company. They started in 2020. But the supplement industry changed a lot since the 90s, where there was so much of a middleman when it came to, okay, this bodybuilder is signed with BSN or Muscle Tech. Here's Jay Cutler's workout on like a Muscular Development or Flex magazine. And there was no honesty or truth about what was really happening. So I think supplement culture is much better now than it was in the past. Now, you have to remember that these companies are still for profit. So they are trying to drive costs down so that they can increase their profit margins. But the longevity of supplement companies, time will expose the really good and honest supplement companies. So what supplement companies are doing now is, prior they were big on proprietary blends, which means that if there was a pump product, you wouldn't know how much of those ingredients was in your supplement. Where now they're all the doses are in the top supplement brands. If you want to compete in that space, you cannot have proprietary blends. That's kind of like gone. The supplement companies that are being transparent with all of that have swallowed up the previous supplement companies that were just doing proprietary blends, at least in the physique sports space. So I think it's in a better place. But at the end of the day, what I do like to hear about supplement companies nowadays is that they do say diet, exercise, and sleep is always going to be king. And their supplements are to supplement doing the right thing. So that's, for me as a consumer, much more trustworthy than it was in the early 90s, early 2000s.
I have a question, if that's cool.
Yeah.
I guess this is a question that can help new parents, first-time parents, or just people in general who are busy with life. How do you manage being a business owner, a father, and a husband, and just taking care of your own mental health? How do you manage to balance all of that?
Do you want the truth?
Yeah.
I don't. I can't balance it. Something's got to give. So I have to give up something pretty much every day. From a mental health standpoint, when you're trying to be a present father, present husband, present coach, and at the same time continue to grow the business to provide for the family, bless you. That was a cough?
That was a cough.
Or a sneeze. Sounded a bit like a... Yeah, that was more of a... That was more of a cough. Okay.
I was trying so hard.
We'll still bless you. We'll still bless you. You're holding it.
First podcast, I was trying so hard not to cough.
So when it comes to the mental health side, what I was saying is, like, I'm just so busy with trying to be present as a father during that allotted time, trying to be present as a coach, which is why, even though I am on call, I try to have scheduled calls with all my clients so that it's guaranteed office hour time and I'm actually at my computer, instead of them just calling me, which they have the right to, but they could call me and I could be at the park. Mm. And yeah, I could give them as much great answers in the world, but their program, I want it to be updated on their end in the palm of their hand. I want that updated. In order for me to do all that, my entire day needs to be organized in those set times. So from the mental health side of things, after this, like, what time is it right now? It's 9:42 p.m. Okay. After this, I need to close out all the messages on the day. Yeah. And then a lot of those messages entail me adding additional programs. So it sounds bad. I guess it is, but I have no other option. I don't have time to ask myself how I'm doing.
Yeah.
There's no time for me to ask myself how I'm doing or for me to be introspective.
You got to be consistently on the go.
I'm on the go.
Yeah.
Maybe when I'm training, I'll tap into some stuff, but training is a lot of people say like training is therapy. No, it's not. It is therapeutic, but it's not therapy.
In some cases. Yeah.
In some cases.
Where being therapeutic, at the gym, like depending on how you feel, it's like, all right, I need to get away,
So I guess what's the difference between that? Therapeutic and being therapeutic and it being therapy. Like what do you mean?
Therapy is with a professional.
Oh yeah.
Therapeutic is like you had a release. If you feel lighter.
Yeah.
Right. So you were able to take the edge off.
Yeah.
A little bit. Get some good hormones running through, a little bit of dopamine. That post-workout glow. Walking out of the gym, you feel great.
Yeah.
But that's not therapy. That's not digging for answers. It's not opening doors in your mind that you're avoiding or haven't opened in a long time.
Yeah.
I really don't have much time right now in this phase of my life. And that's the thing. The reason I'm okay with that and I sleep fine at night is because I know that is strictly this is just a chapter in my life that I just need to lock in. It is what it is.
It's all part of growth.
It's just I'll ask myself how I'm doing a little later. But like if you're hiking or climbing Mount Everest, you don't have much time to like stop and ponder about how you're feeling outside of your physical state. So right now it's just go in life. And Dre and I have no family here. Zero. So any if you think of it, the business is my first baby. Like today alone, there were several like card transactions. My assistant's on vacation. So there were several like card transactions that needed to get updated or new card on file, card expired, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. That is like a baby that just needs a new diaper. Yeah. So even though that stuff is not on my calendar, in between my calendar, like my events on my calendar, there's these little things like Enzo sneezing and now he has fucking boogers going through in his mouth, and then he wipes it on his sweater. So, and I'm on the way to daycare, and now his sweater is like all covered in boogers. Like the business is my first baby.
Yeah.
If I stop wiping his nose, I stop changing his diapers, if I'm not giving them a bath, if you're not feeding them, if you're not putting them down for a nap, the baby will get sick. If you're not doing that thing with your business, the business will also get sick. So I am always on no matter what, vacation, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that I love this.
Yeah.
So in order to answer your question in a really, really long, Ye says symphony, in a really long symphony, I don't have time to ask myself how I'm doing.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. So it's okay for all the other parents out there and everything to
bro, parenting is
I mean, you can't control the unknowns of what's going to happen day to day, so you just got to make the best of it, and of course, you fine tune as you go,
I for me, the best therapy is hanging out with my people that genuinely ask how I'm doing. I ask them how they're doing, and it's just like a vibe that just feels lighter,
Sure.
And that are genuinely happy for you,
Great.
Yeah.
All right, next question. The location of the hiding clown.
Next question.
So we'll never have the answer to that one.
No. If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
All right, next question. Would you rather have 2 belly buttons or 3 nipples Either choice is very noticeable.
Would you rather have 2 belly buttons? Hold on.
Would you rather have 2 belly buttons or 3 nipples? Either choice, very noticeable.
Isn't there already such thing as there is such thing as a third nipple though, right? Like because some people have it's not really a nipple.
Yeah,
but
it's a thing.
It's
a thing. Yeah.
I feel like I'd rather have 2 belly buttons.
2 belly.
I don't have a reasoning. I just wouldn't want a third nipple. Imagine doing a front lat spread.
Figure out what the benefits you're having 2 belly buttons.
Want both innies
or 3?
Want both innies, both outies, one outie, one innie. What?
If I'm off season, they're innies.
Okay.
If I'm in prep, they're just regular, not outie though.
Yeah. Outies.
No, I would do 2 belly buttons, I guess.
Got to deal with more fuzzies stuck in your belly button.
No, I still clean my butt.
All right, next question.
When I was really overweight in high school, I had a lot of fuzzies. Like South Pole fuzzies from the South Pole oversized section.
Enough to start a fire?
You probably.
All right, next question. Looking for a new water bottle. One that's easy to clean and practical. Which one do you recommend?
All right, so here's my thing. I like hydro jugs. Hydrojug.com, I guess. We don't work with them, but I got hydro jugs for the kids. But what I look for in a water bottle is like stainless steel, and I like it to be machine wash friendly, and that it's non-spill when it's horizontal, so you can just like throw it in your gym bag. And I don't like, well, this one for the people watching on YouTube. I typically don't like these, but this one was free with my stepper. Because if you want to hand wash it, it's just impossible. You need like a million, the little brush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank God I'm behind the camera.
Yeah. So I think water bottles should be wider at the top so that you can wash with your hands. So that's my reasoning. But Hydro Jug makes good ones.
What about Stanley Cups? I hear they can withstand high heat.
I don't know. I mean, I do have a Stanley Cup, but it was a gift.
You missed the joke.
Yeah, I don't get it.
When the Stanley Cup was burning it was a car that was burned, was engulfed in flames, and the only thing that lived was the Stanley Cup, the Stanley bottle.
You're talking about
the only thing was like the top.
Oh, in LA recently in the fires?
Yeah, it was just.
The plastic had to melt.
Plastic was melted, but the cup, the actual cup itself, stayed intact.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything else around the cup was just a whole house.
Yeah. They should make the Cybertruck like that. Because there was that Cybertruck that burned.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're talking about the Cybertruck that blew up in front of the hotel?
No, there was one that was on fire on the beach, right?
Oh, no, I didn't hear about that one.
You saw that one, Peter?
I saw that one. Yeah, that was wild. I don't know how that happened.
But yeah, Hydro Jug.
All right, so next question. When can I get some MA gear?
Why don't you? We have it password protected, but I've given the password to 1 million people now.
Yeah, and then the follow-up question to that is, when is the shop launching?
What day today? Monday? Just launch it tonight. When you post this, just open it. Because right now the site's ready. The only reason we were delayed is because we're trying to make the customer experience smooth, and we're working with a different distributor right now. So we had to make sure packaging was the way we wanted it. And if we're folding it the way we want it, you're going to get stickers with purchase, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, tissue, it's a whole new process. Mm-hmm. So thank you to everyone who actually wanted our apparel so badly and DM'd me or texted me for the password to get in. Anyone who messaged me or texted me, I gave them the password to order. And they just ended up understanding that, hey, this is kind of our first run with this distributor. But I think we're ready to run. So let's just open it up.
Yeah, and those who've already ordered as our guinea pig, thank you so much. And appreciate the patience on it. I know it did take some time because we're still trying to figure out the whole process. So I think we're in a good spot right now to have this store launch once we release this podcast.
I'm really excited for it. And you put the DC Fashion Week cherry blossoms
DC
on there?
Fashion Week is on there. I do have to replace the logo.
Yeah, let's replace that. But yeah, let's launch.
All right.
For everyone who purchased
Tomorrow, you just launch it tonight, take the password off after this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Perfect.
All right.